Welcome back to Dishelved with Adam White. This week I'm going to talk about The Fall, Of Blood and Fire, and Of Darkness and Light, which are a novella and the first two novels in the Bound and the Broken. And they are excellent. I read The Fall, they're by Ryan Cahill, who's a great new author. The Fall is available for free on his website. If you join his mailing list, you can get a download of The Fall for free. It's about 100 pages or so. It's a novella, and it's one of the best, if not the best, novella I've ever read. I thought it was just absolutely awesome. Um, it introduces the world. It takes place 400 years before the novels start, and it deals with their magic system, the knights that they have, these magical knights, dragons, their government system. And like I said, if you sign up on his website, it's free. It's well worth it for the download. He also doesn't spam you. He just sends an update every now and again. And but the fall really was awesome. I don't want to say too much about it because it gets right into the middle of it, and it's broken into chapters, and it tells you about all the main things you need to know about the history of the land that the story takes place in, and it sets up the world for 400 years later for when the novels begin. Really awesome novella. I really can't highly recommend that enough. I thought it was absolutely awesome. Now, the book one, is of Blood and Fire, which is this one right here. I'm going to read what it says on here. Etheria is a land divided by war and mistrust. The High Lords of the South squabble and fight, only kept in check by the Dragon Guard, traitors of a long time past who served the Empire of the North. In the remote villages of southern Etheria, still reeling from the tragic loss of his brother, Cahill Briar prepares for the proving, a test of courage and skill that not all survive. But when three strangers arrive in the village of Milltown with a secret they are willing to die for, Cahill's world is ripped from under him, and he is thrust headfirst into a war that has been raging for centuries. There is no prophecy. His coming was not foretold. He bleeds like any man, and bleed he will. So there's no prophecies in this book. Uh, no special, hey, look out for this guy. He's going to be important. It just kind of happens. Uh, the first 35-40% of the first book of Blood and Fire is a coming of age story. They deal with the proving, which is a thing that everyone of his village does. They go out and go on a hunt and uh, have a couple other objectives that they need to accomplish. And I won't go a whole lot into it, but it also sets up their families, their relationship with their families, the relationships in the village that they're from. The main characters, Kaylin, Dan, and Rist. They're three best friends. They're like brothers. So it sets up uh, families not only of blood but of choice. And it just really gives you a full sense of their lives. And like I said, about the first 35-40% of this is doing that, and does it well, keeps you interested. You like the characters, uh, you like the things that they're doing, and Kaylin, Dan, and Rist go on a journey to deliver some stuff for Kaylin's dad, who is a blacksmith, and they run into some people just by chance that uh, ends up uh, taking a dark turn rather quickly. Uh, they're being chased by the government, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away. And but anyway, they really get involved rather quickly with this new uh, family of people that they come into contact with, and it takes a dark turn, and things go bad rather quickly, and things go bad for Kaylin. Things go bad for all of them, and they end up having to leave their village and go on the run. And you just kind of see how that happens. Uh, they're swept up in the war for Etheria with all the intrigue that goes along with it. Uh, it just is a really good book. Uh, the it introduces new characters then as you go along in the story. You get introduced to elves and different characters from parts of the world, a giant, uh, just different characters. You see that the world is a lot bigger than what they saw in this small town that they lived in. And there's also dwarves, and uh, they just really uh, see how much bigger the world is than what they thought living in their small town. And it really opens up that world to you as you read the book, as you go along with it. And it ends with a battle that uh, takes a toll on the main characters. Uh, there's some things in the middle of it that take a toll on the main characters, and the main characters never have it easy. The new characters they introduce, uh, you get a sense of them very quickly, and you get to know them by their deeds, and he doesn't like dump a big backstory on you for everybody that you come in contact with. Uh, the magic system is really cool. Uh, it's fairly simple in the way he describes it. They pull from the spark, and there's different things like air and fire that they pull from. And he doesn't bog you down with the system, but you get a sense of it very quickly and how it works and who has the ability to use it and who doesn't. And it's a really rare thing, especially in the world, because the government, the empire, has searched actively for people who can use it and always take them away and use them for themselves. And just really, uh, it's a really good magic system, and they do cool things with it that you don't see necessarily in some of the other books that I've read. Strong characterizations for all the main characters and even the secondary characters. I want to go ahead and get into the second book of Darkness and Light. It just came out about a month ago, and um, it was even better than the first book. Uh, the prose is strong in the first book, but it is even stronger in the second book and gets stronger as it goes along. You can see him getting more sure of himself as an author. Uh, really good prose. Really keeps you interested. The second book, which I've got on Kindle, um, so I don't have a physical copy of it to show you, but uh, it it starts out right in the middle of things with a battle that would be a climax in most books, and just a huge battle. in the second one, and it's a really great battle sequence. Uh, you then get introduced to the dwarves and more elves, and anytime he introduces new characters, even towards the end of the second book, he's still introducing some new characters. But within a chapter or two, you get all the sense you need of them, like you've known them the whole time. He really does a good job of introducing new characters, and he gives you the you get the backstory through what they do and what they say, and you get a sense of them that he does without doing an info dump on you. And just with, like I said, within a chapter or two, any of these new characters you've got a real good sense of, and you feel like they've been a part of the story the whole time. He does a really great job at that. Really strong characterizations. Uh, it really is. You see it in the first book, but also more clearly in the second book. Why it's called the Bound and the Broken for the series is called, as you can see there on the book. Uh, it really explores what it means to be bound both to other people or something, and it also deals a lot with what it means to be broken as a person, whether it means because of things with other people or with something else that's happened to you. Uh, it really, and the consequences of what it means to be broken as a character. And you see that in both books, but especially in the second book. And you see the ties that bind and the things that end up leaving you broken. And it's really sad for some of it. And uh, you just, characters aren't safe in this. Uh, People that you wouldn't normally expect to die may not live very long. Uh, Bad things happen to good people. Uh, the bad guys are really nasty. There's Urix and a couple other of magical beasts that they fight, and they really they're really dark characters, and you really get a sense of the struggle that they have against them. Plus, they're fighting against the Empire, which is uh, the ruling empire of the world that they live in, and so they've really got enemies on all sides, and their little rebellion uh, has to deal with a lot of stuff, and they really have a hard time dealing with things. Like I said, the prose gets even stronger in the second book, more assured as he gets on. It's just really strong writing. The battle sequences are awesome. The final battle of the book outdoes the battle of the opening of the book, and there's battles all throughout it too. And the final battle is really awesome. Uh, it has uh, everything you want in a battle, overwhelming odds, uh, and it brings a lot of the characters together that have been doing things separately in the book, and the battle brings together even unexpected allies, and it's really good. Uh, I can't stress enough how much I enjoy these. I read them all right together. Something else I want to show you, which, uh, well, if I can get to it. Yes, this is signed by the author. I got it. It came, I think, from Ireland. So the shipping cost more actually than the book, but it was well worth it because I'm glad to have an autographed copy of this book. I really, really enjoyed them both. Like I said, the second book just came out about a month ago, and I read them all together. And The Fall, again, is one of the best, if not the best novella I've ever read. It's really awesome, and it gives you a sense of stuff in here that's only hinted at in the books, and you get more of it as you go along. But the novella The Fall, really, really awesome story. And the books are excellent. You get a strong sense of what's coming from the novella, and you just are really excited about what's going to happen in these books. I don't know how many are planned. I do know the third book is slated to come out this year sometime. I'm not sure when, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I hope you will check these books out and give them a shot. Like I said, you can download the story, The Fall, for free from his website just by signing up for his newsletter. I'd highly recommend that because it's a great, great read. And once you read that, you'll definitely want to go on and read these other books. And like I said, I can't wait for the third one. And I hope you guys will give these books a shot because they're really, really excellent. Thanks for hanging out with me again, and I'll see you next week.